knows what we need to do, and we need to tell the nation right now, because there are people who feel helpless. There are people who feel scared. There are people who feel like showing up doesn't make a difference. But you know all of this matters. You know, what do we do when they try to trample our rights? What do? We show up. When they try to steal the election, what are we going to do? When they declare illegal wars, what do we do? Now, I want to tell you about some people who are showing up right now today for this No Kings community. There are thousands of volunteers who have given tens of thousands of hours to be safety officers, marshals, who are making sure that our events today reflect the peaceful democracy of harmony and love that we want to see in America today. I want them to hear you coast to coast. Thank you, volunteers, for all you're doing to make No Kings happen. Thank you for showing up.
Brothers and sisters and friends, my name is Rob Weissman. I'm with Public Citizen. You beautiful and heroic people showed our country and reminded the world that the opposite of authoritarianism is not just justice and democracy and freedom. It's also solidarity and community and love and neighbors. And persistence. And now, as we rally here, 100,000 or more strong and across the nation in the largest day of protest in American history, we have to persist. We have to persist to end this illegal, unconstitutional, and devastating war on Iran, and make sure that Congress does not give a penny more to pay for or extend this war. We have to persist to make sure we have free and fair elections, that everyone can vote, and that all the votes are counted. And we have to persist to win our yes agenda. Yes to health care for all. Yes to tax the rich. Yes to the clean energy revolution. Yes to overturn Citizens United. Yes for a living wage. Yes to make sure every person has the right to organize into a union. Yes to make sure there is equality for every human being living in the United States, whatever their status, whatever language they speak, whatever their gender. Now say this with me, my friends. Say this with me. No kings, no ice, no war. Democracy is what we're fighting for. No kings, no ice, no war. Justice is what we're fighting for. No kings, no ice, no war. Health care and human rights and dignity and freedom and love and peace is what we're fighting for. No kings, no ice, no war. No kings, no ice, no war. No kings, no ice, no war. Thank you. You're beautiful.
I'm Leah.
Hey, and I'm Leah's husband, Ezra. This is our wedding anniversary.
And we are proud to support a movement of thousands of local indivisible groups across the country building power on their home turf, including the incredible groups of Minnesota. Now, today is historic. We are seeing 3,300 protests across every state and congressional district in America standing up to say we have no king. Minnesota, of all people, you know that it takes more than one day of protest to defeat fascism. It is going to take relentless, determined, creative organizing to protect our neighbors and to stand for our rights. The nation learned that from you. We learned it from every Minnesotan who stood up to protect their neighbors. We learned it from everyone who went out after the shootings, the murders of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, from everyone who came out after the murder of Melissa Hortman to say that fear won't win, hate won't win, that in Minnesota you protect your neighbors and you stand up for democracy.
Woo.
Now, if there is anything we know about would-be dictators, it is that when they start to lose their grip, they get even more dangerous. They escalate, they invade, they attack. Donald Trump is facing down a midterm election that he knows he is going to lose because people hate this mad king business.
Woo.
And so what is he going to do? He's going to try to steal it. But he's going to fail because we are going to stop him.
That's right.
Woo.
So for the 100,000 Twin Cities residents in the crowd right now, we have an ask to share on behalf of our friends at Indivisible Twin Cities. Text pledge 30319. Text pledge to 30319 to take the Pledge of Resistance with Indivisible Twin Cities and say you're ready to show up and mobilize in the event of election sabotage.
Woo.
Ah.
Sorry, folks, I'm back. This is the largest protest in Minnesota history. Good job, everybody. Now, if you know anything about Indivisible, we have a real bias towards action. So we're going to give you some actions. Leah just gave you one action for everybody in the Twin Cities. There are millions of people watching now. And for the millions of people around the country, around the globe, we've got to work in concert with the Minnesotans. When Trump tries to sabotage the midterms, we need to match the depth of the organizing that we've seen here in Minnesota with the breadth of the organizing we're seeing all over the world for No Kings 3. So what does that mean? Let's get specific. I want everybody here to put this on your calendar. The next major national action of this movement is not just going to be another protest. It is a tactical escalation. An escalation, it is an economic show of force inspired by Minnesota's own Day of Truth and Action. We all saw this. Thousands of teachers and nurses, community leaders, faith leaders showing up in sub-zero temperatures, showing this state that they were not going to put up with business as usual while a secret police goon squad was murdering Americans in the streets. We need to do that nationally, y'all. We need to do that all over the country. So on May 1st, on May Day, across the country, we are saying no business as usual. No work, no school, no shopping. We're going to show up and say we're putting workers over billionaires and kings. Minnesota, we cannot thank you enough for the courage you've displayed, for the instruction you have given. We are going to build on that courage, on that sacrifice, on that dedication, on that organizing. We are going to demonstrate that regular people are the single greatest threat to fascism in this country. It's up to all of us to walk that path. So say it with me as we heard from Rob. No kings, no ice, no war. 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 How many kings? How many kings? Damn right. See you May 1st.
Keep it going! These folks are not messing around. All right, we're gonna do a redo because I was out of order and now I'm back in order. It's hard. This is hard, y'all. You know, brain fog, old, menopause. Give me a break. now we're going to really, I'm just going to read it again because the importance of this next speaker is really incredible. A healer, a singer, member of the Ojibwe Nation, here to perform a healing song that she wrote in the Ojibwe language 10 years ago. And it is so special because this is the first time the song will be performed outside of the Indigenous community. So please, let's start now. Welcome to the stage, Doreen de Wamanukwe. Doreen de Wamanukwe, let's hear it!
Bonjour, Indenerwema Gunny Dog. Wabanokwe Indigenous Cause, Wabajeshi and Tu Dame, Aberdeen Aigua Kape Medeo. Anishinaabe Wa King. Our ancestors are always with us. This is a healing song for all of those that have suffered during this time. Go missing on Giwitaki Shigung no Jimoyan Ijibimo said no Jimoyan Ijibimo said Ijibimo said Go missing on Giwitaki Shigung no Jimoyan Ijibimo said no Jimoyan Ijibimo said Ijibimo said Go missing on Giwitaki Shigung no Jimoyan Ijibimo said no Jimoyan Ijibimo said Ijibimo said Go missing on Giwitaki Shigung no Jimoyan Ijibimo said no Jimoyan Ijibimo said Ijibimo said
Doreen de Wamanukwe! So y'all, being that a big part of this day is a tribute to all of you, we have another video from another super dope person who couldn't be here but wanted to lend his voice in a sort of montage of all of the great work that you did. There will not be enough dildo throwing in this video, I will warn you, but that's just the world we live in. I'm so sorry. So please take a look at yourselves and see how amazing it really is.
I'm here to tell you a story about Minnesotans. A story about Renee Nicole Good, a mom who wrote poems and had sparkles coming out of her pores. She had whistles. They had guns. A story about Alex Pretty, an ICU nurse who cared for American veterans. Someone who wanted to make a difference in the world and spent his last moments protecting a woman targeted by ICE. A story about Liam Conejo Ramos and his father, Adrian Conejo Arias, a preschooler with a Spider-Man backpack and a blue bunny hat, and his father, who were only trying to get to school. A story about all the people nationwide who have died at the hands of ICE. The thousands in Minnesota and across the country who have been hiding in their homes for months, afraid of being taken by ICE. The hundreds of thousands separated from their families, trapped in detention centers, or deported and dreaming of a way back home. Heartbreaking stories meant to exhaust us into submission. But not you, Minnesota. This is a story about a revolution starting in Minnesota. When your neighbors are being attacked and your communities are being targeted, you don't give up. You don't look away. You don't back down. You showed up, protesting by the thousands, sub-freezing temperatures, delivering groceries to neighbors in hiding, driving friends to doctor's appointments and walking children to school. The heroism of ordinary people doing extraordinary acts of resilience who showed the world what courage looks like. I'm not cold. I'm not afraid. Minnesota taught us to be brave.
May I have your attention for an important public safety announcement. Once again, Minnesotans have shown up. But anytime we have a crowd this large, it is possible for people to become separated. If you have become separated from your family or your group, the place to meet is the Lost and Found area located on Reverend Martin Luther King Boulevard. As you face the Capitol, Reverend Martin Luther King Boulevard is the street to your left. That is where you should go and where you should direct people who are lost. Thank you all for making this a safe event for everyone. And now, are you ready to continue with No Kings 3? We are proud to welcome to the stage organizer, activist, and movement strategist, Ashley Woodard Henderson.
Why are we in this situation that brings us down? Can't you see we are losing patience with oppression now? The people will rise. The people will rise. The people will rise. Sing with me. The people will rise. The people will rise. The people will rise. It looks like you're mighty risen today. It looks like you're mighty risen today. My name is Ashley Woodard Henderson, and I'm going to be your friendly MC today for this No Kings 3 flagship rally. How you doing? Look at this historic moment that Minnesotans built. Not a moment that happened to Minnesotans, but the moment you built. You built this moment. We are standing miles from where federal agents took the lives of Renee Good and Alex Pretty. We're standing in the shadow of the Capitol where Melissa and Mark Hortman lay in state, murdered the morning of the very first No Kings, because a man with a hit list tried to stop what we're doing right now. We honor them today. And I need you to understand one more fundamental truth about where we're standing. This is not just a rally site, my friends. I know if you look around, you might think it to be. But this isn't just a rally site. This is a place where a wannabe king sent 3,000 federal agents to terrorize your neighbors. Stephen Miller drew up the blueprint. Y'all heard of that little thing, Operation Metro Surge? They thought it could break Minnesota. They didn't know Minnesota. They didn't know Minnesota. They didn't know the immigrant families and labor unions, faith leaders and soccer moms, retirees and young people would lock arms and say, "Not our neighbors. Not our city. Not our state. Not here." Y'all, you didn't just resist. You didn't just show up. You organized. You built phone trees and legal clinics. Y'all built sanctuary networks. You showed up in 10 below 0-degree weather. You came out when they had pepper spray and tear gas and bullets. You came back the next day and the day after that and the day after that, and guess what? The whole damn country told them to leave. And guess what, y'all? Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino, peace, they gone, right? The Twin Cities, the land of 10,000 lakes, guess what? Y'all still here. Look around. We out here. That's not just a one-day protest, my friends. That's building power. You all are showing us why we ought to be here. Because Minnesotans proved to our entire country something that we all need to take seriously and learn. We do not wait for permission to protect each other. We do not beg a wannabe king to do the right thing. We organize. We refuse to comply or cooperate with evil forces in high places. When they demand our complicity and quiet disobedience, we do the right thing. We build people power together. And it wasn't just here. It was Los Angeles and Memphis and Washington, D.C., Chicago, Portland, Charlotte, Denver, Atlanta, Newark, Philadelphia, Seattle, Nashville. It was communities across our country. This administration will not win. They will not win. And we will make it clear as they try to prove to us that they will use force against our people, even when we are peaceful. Across our country, our people have made it clear back. We will not be broken. In June, 5 million people took to the streets. In October, 7 million. Right now, right this second, there are 3,300 No Kings actions happening across 16 countries. Y'all, there are No Kings protests on every continent except for Antarctica. They'll catch up. Let me say this again. Nearly every continent on Earth is with us. They're out there right now because of what you showed them, Minnesota. So today, we celebrate that. Today, we lift up the people who made this moment happen. Today, we sing and we march and we stand together on this beautiful day at this Capitol and we let them hear us. Do you want to be heard today? Now, y'all know me because y'all been on the mass calls. I have to keep it honest with you. And you know I'm going to keep it real with you today and tomorrow. Today is not the finish line, my friends. How many of y'all, it's your first No Kings? Holler at me if it's your first No Kings. I see you. Welcome. Today is not the end of our work. Today is the beginning. Today is the proof of concept. What you built here in Minnesota, every single community in this country needs help to build. And they're gonna need your help. Y'all, today, we're gonna have a beautiful day, right? We are gonna be powerful together today, right? We are gonna be disciplined in our nonviolence today, right? We're gonna build power together. Let's honor the people that we have lost. Let's celebrate the people who are still fighting, like each and every one of you. And let's get ready, because what comes next is gonna require every single one of us. Y'all, I wanna hear you say it. No ICE, no war, no billionaires, no kings. I think you can, if I don't believe you, they're not. No war, no ICE, no billionaires, no kings. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!